Hi and welcome to my video where I show you my coloring plans for March. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Ina. If not, welcome back. I quickly put the books aside and then we get started. As always, I start with my project book Ivy und der magische Schmetterling or Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Johanna Basford. I'm coloring this book from front to back, and the next page is this double page filled with flowers. I'm really excited to make this page vibrant and colorful. And I might do the background similar to these pages before. The question is whether I use the same colors for the blossoms or different ones. Since there are some different flowers, I think I go with other colors. Okay, that was Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Johanna Basford. Then my plan at the beginning of the year was to color a page every 2 months in Seasons by Hannah Carlson. But since I colored one in both January and February, I think this will now be my second project book, where I'll try to finish one page each month. And since I've planned some more intricate pages this month, I've chosen the first proper page after the name page, which I think will be relatively quick to color. Overall, I believe I found a good balance in this month between detailed pages and simpler, faster ones. In January, I already did the comparable page for winter. Let's see if I keep the style similar or not. In any case, I'll be using different, more spring-like colors. That was Seasons by Hannah Carlson. Now I continue with the hashtags I'd like to participate in. One of them is Colorful Bulls Lovella 2026, hosted by Lovella's Coloring and Colorful Diary 2018. At the time I'm recording this video, the page for the month hasn't been announced yet. But by the time you watch the video, it should be. So I show it here. Okay, that was Boule de Pois by Diane Dufort. Then I'd like to participate in the Color the Fairy Tales hashtag by Geordie Colors for the fairy tale The Gigantic Turnip. I've never heard of this fairy tale before, so I definitely read up on it. And since I don't have a page that specifically depicts this fairy tale, I'm using one of the prompts, which is vegetables. For this, I found a page in Morgentau or Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle. This one here, because alongside radishes, carrots and broad beans, there are also turnips depicted. I thought that fits quite well. I'm not entirely sure how I do the background yet. Maybe I just use soft pastels with an earthy brown tone to make it look like the vegetables have just been harvested and laid on the ground. Or perhaps something more colorful. And then I could do the page with the berries in the future in a similar style. But of course I would use different colors for this page. but maybe keep the style consistent. Another prompt is watering can. And in this book, there's a double page with vegetables, two rabbits, and a watering can. Then there's another page with a watering can, this one here, with the beans, the hedgehog, and a small bird. And there's at least one more. Yeah, this one with flowers and the bird. Maybe if I managed, I'll do another page as well. Okay, that was Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle. Another hashtag I'd like to participate in is the Wild Year of Color 26 by Finding Joy in Color. And the animal for March is a crocodile or an alligator. I've decided to color a page in Fragile World by Kerby Rosanes. And it's the endangered gharials. I hope I pronounced it correctly. An Asian crocodile. After I already colored a page with a crocodile in January, which took forever because I shaded each scale individually, I thought for this crocodile, I won't shade each scale separately. Instead, I shade the crocodile as a whole. Also, with the water and the plants, there's a bit more on the page than just a crocodile. Since I want to color a double page every month, if I finish this one and the one on Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, I definitely have an extra double page in case I can't complete one in another month. Or maybe in the end, I have more than 12 double pages, which would be great. That's Fragile World by Kerby Rosanes. Finding Joy in Color actually didn't intend to continue with the Wild Year of Color hashtag, but then decided to do so in February, and I haven't done the February page for the hashtag yet. The animal for February was the flamingo, and coincidentally we also selected a flamingo page in the Kerby Buddy color group. So this is a great way for me to catch up. We choose the page from Worlds Within Worlds by Kerby Rosanes, this one here. And a few people in the group are working on flamingos, I think in Animorphia. I don't have that book and I wanted to work on this page anyway, so it fits perfectly. My plan for the water area is to create an underpainting. That means I'll paint the entire section blue with watercolors first, and then layer colored pencils on top. This way all the colors will have a bluish undertone, since it's underwater. Maybe even a blue-green hue. Oh, I just noticed there's a flying dinosaur in the background. Okay, besides that, I'm not quite sure how I'll approach the sky yet. Whether I'll try to paint a sunset or just color it blue. We'll see. That's Worlds Within Worlds by Kerby Rosanes. Then I have two more body colors. The first is my monthly body color with Selina Moonlight. And we color a page in Meine Reise durch Asien by Rita Beermann. We want to color this bento box in the Japan section of the book. Honestly, I haven't thought much about the colors yet, but I think I write them down and use them for the adjacent page as well. This little rice beer is definitely super cute. I think I start with the obvious colors, like red for the strawberry, white and yellow for the egg, and so on. Okay, that's Meine Reise durch Asien by Rita Bergmann. The third body color is in Kleine Wunderwelten or Small Victories by Johanna Basford, with coloring with Kate and Fellination art. We are coloring the last page before the end page, featuring a narwhal. I've been thinking about drawing a kind of dome around the upper part. I feel the water at the bottom is already well defined, but around the mountain at the top, I'd probably create a dome and add some sky with clouds. I also need to figure out what all these circles are. Down here, they're probably stones. The semicircles at the top might be air bubbles or foam. But the ones in the middle, no idea. Maybe just stones on another layer? Do you have any idea what that could be? I'll probably note down the colors I use here as well and apply them to this page later on. That was Small Victories by Johanna Basford. Now I have two more books. Both are untouched, so I can reduce them as well. The first one is also by Johanna Basford. Magische Reise or Magical Worlds. Here I've decided to color the second actual page. This castle with the pond in the foreground. I'd like to try coloring this page entirely with watercolors. So far, I've only used watercolors for a base layer or for backgrounds. And here I'd really like to shade with watercolors. And maybe just use some gel or acrylic paint pens at the end. But no colored pencils. As a kind of a small challenge. And even though it's a challenge and I've never done it before, I'm really excited to try it out. That was Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford. The last book for March is Mythographic Labyrinth by Joseph Kettenbang. In this book, I've decided to color another water-themed page. There are quite a few water pages this month, but right now I'm really in the mood for water-themed pages. I want to color this page where the sea is kind of split apart. It somehow reminds me of Moses, even though it doesn't have anything to do with that story. I think I color this labyrinth on the seabed in sandy tones, since that's essentially the ocean floor. Then the water will obviously be blue. The turtle in typical turtle colors. These little fish look a bit like goldfish, so I might color them orange. But what about the other fish? Maybe red or green. The fish in the background look like statues to me. I'll see if I can find some inspiration images for them. I'm really looking forward to coloring this shading, which is more delicate and finer compared to Kerby's work, but still provides great shading guidance. Okay, that was Mythographic Labyrinth by Joseph Kettenbank. Are there any hashtags you'd like to participate this month? Or which pages are you planning to color? Feel free to write it in the comments. Bye and see you next time.